in your review, there is a character trait practice. Let's do that. Characterization practice, actually, it says right there. Okay, so I would like you to open that up. It says characterization practice. Okay, or did we do this? We already did this, didn't we? This is not the characterization practice I was talking about. Did we do this with Persephone and Poseidon?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we did. We did. This is not the one I was thinking of. Should I go back? There's another one in the actual final review. Okay. Let's look at the final exam practice. That's what I think we need. Okay. Well, that's the same thing. Darn it. What? Sorry. It was in there twice. Okay. Maybe it's this one. Okay. Let's practice this. It's not quite the same thing, but let's practice it anyway. Okay. So we have some terms over here. Let's take a look at that. So we want to match up the questions or match up the definition to the term, okay? So which one of these terms? We have autobiography, pillar, memoir, biography, sire, accentuate, alliteration, comadres, and valor. So which one of those terms means the story of a person's life written by that person? Usually it is written in the first person point of view using the pronoun I. Which one would that be? Would that be an autobiography, a pillar, a memoir, a biography? What would it be? What is it? If you have the story of a person's life written by the actual person, what do we call that? An autobiography, okay? That is an autobiography, so make sure you put A. It's the final review. Not the one that says final study guide, but the one that says final review, okay? Okay. Sorry. Thought I was going to sneeze into my mask. That's not fun. Have any of you done that? It's all wet. It's gross. Yeah. Okay. So then we have boldness or determination in facing great danger. Which one of these words? We already said autobiography is A. So it would be either pillar, memoir, biography, sire, accentuate, alliteration, comadres, or valor. Or valor. Or valor. Yes, it is valor, guys. Valor means boldness or determination in facing great danger. So B goes down here with number 9 in valor. Okay. Godmother or a gossip? Comadres, good. So C goes with 8, comadres. And then we have D, any upright supporting post or individual. Yes, it's a pillar. You can be a pillar of the community, or you can be an actual post that supports things. Okay, so pillar. D goes with number 2. All right. Then E says the account of a person's life written by someone other than that person. So we had autobiography was written by that person. A biography is written by someone else. So biography is 4, so E is 4. Then we have the repetition of consonant sounds, generally at the beginning of a word. Alliteration, good. Alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds, okay? I like the example. Joanna easily opened the jar of jam in one swift jerk. Okay, got all those J's. All right, the act of stressing, emphasizing, or intensifying synonyms. Like stress or emphasize. Oh, or intensifying. So the synonyms are stress or emphasize. So which word up there means to stress or emphasize something? No, sire means father. Accentuate. If you're going to accentuate something, it means you're going to stress or emphasize something. Okay. So G goes with accentuate, number 6. H, a first person account of a person's life written by that person and focusing on one event or time. What do we call that? A memoir, okay? That is known as a memoir. That is number 3, okay? So then we have the male parent of a quadruped, a respectful term of address used for male sovereignty to beget or procreate as the father. Sire, okay? Sire can be used as a verb. He sired many children, meaning he fathered many children, okay? All right. Let's look at these multiple choice questions. Okay, so we need to know what internal, remember we have 2 different types of conflict. We have internal conflict and we have external conflict. Okay, characters go through internal and external conflicts. Internal conflicts are when a character struggles against an outside force, the struggle between 2 opposing forces in a storm, thin and fine and therefore easily broken, lacking a sound basis or reasoning, weak, synonym. Okay. Or when a struggle takes place within a character's mind and he is torn between 2 opposing feelings, or she. Which one is it? Internal conflict means conflict going on inside yourself. Inside yourself. Yes. D. Okay, internal conflict is about the conflict going on inside the character with himself or herself. Esperanza in The House on Mango Street. A lot of the conflicts that she had in the story were internal. Yes, there were some external conflicts as well, but some of her conflicts were, some of her biggest ones were internal. That often happens with a character. Is that you have internal conflicts. You're struggling to overcome something or you're struggling to deal with something yourself, okay? So Esperanza's conflicts, some of them were internal. She did have some external ones. Some things outside of herself that were beyond her control. But when we're talking about the conflict of feelings or emotions, those are internal, okay? The word tenuous. Tenuous, what does it mean? Thin and fine and therefore easily broken, lacking a sound basis or reasoning, weak. Synonyms could be flimsy, weak, doubtful, or frail. The account of a person's life written by someone other than that person. The act of stressing, emphasizing, or intensifying. We just had some of those. So yes, it is A. Something that is tenuous means that it is weak, frail, okay? And you can use it as actually physically being weak or frail, You could say her health was tenuous. She was in frail health or poor health. Or you can say that his understanding of the concept was tenuous, like it was weak, lacking a sound basis or reasoning. His plan was tenuous, or her plan. All right. Property passing at the owner's death to the heir or those entitled to succeed, or like a legacy. What else is that known as? Is that hysterical, accentuate, inheritance, or remorse? What did we say? Inheritance, yes. Whoops. Against that. Okay. Inheritance is correct. All right. Then, number 4, moral anguish arising from repentance for past misdeeds or feeling extreme regret. What did you say before? Remorse. This is remorse. Moral anguish, regret. That's remorse. Okay. External conflict. When a struggle takes place within a character's mind and he is torn between 2 opposing feelings. When a character struggles against an outside force, or the act of stressing, emphasizing, or intensifying, or the male parent. That's what outside force, yes. External conflict is a character struggling against an outside force. Okay. Let's see. 6. Irrational from fear, emotion, or an emotional shock. Hysterical. If you are hysterical, you are irrational from fear or some kind of emotional shock. Okay? And then an object given or kept as a reminder or in memory of somebody or something. Like a souvenir. What? A memento. Okay? That is a memento. All right. What else do we have? Okay. There are, there's a literary device Quizlet. Okay. There's a link on Canvas. There should be. Let me make sure it's there. What else is in here? Let me make sure. Let's see. You know what? Let's jump over this part for a moment. Well, let's just go ahead and answer these. Okay? How would we define plot? Okay, the events.
Reason for the story.
Well, not the reason, that would be more of a theme. Okay? A plot would be the events, the action of the story. Okay? So plot is the events or action of the story. Okay, let me move this up and get these. All right. So let me write those in. I like blue. I would say series of events, actions, and you know what the parts are. We have exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution. Okay. All right. I can put those up here too. Position. Okay. What do you call the main character of a story? The protagonist. We want that name, that title. We call it the protagonist. In the most dangerous game, the protagonist's name is Rainsford. I did look that up. It was like Rain something, but I couldn't remember if it was Rainier or what, but it's Rainsford. What do you call the person or force working against the main character? What do we call that? We have the protagonist and the antagonist. Okay. Okay. And then what term refers to the message or moral of a story? I just said it a minute ago. It's a lesson. It's also known as a theme. Yes, we call it a theme. Oh, look, green and red. Now we're Christmassy. And what are the two types of external conflicts? What are two types of external conflicts? This would be man versus nature and man versus man. Man versus self would be the internal, okay? Okay, so you've got man versus nature and man versus man. And what is an internal conflict? Man versus self. Okay, anything going on inside of you where man or woman is struggling with something on an internal level. You're struggling against yourself. That's an internal conflict. Okay? Anybody still typing these out? Do you need these? I'll let it go for a minute. I don't know if that's on the screen so well. There we go. Okay. Let me know when you're all done with this. Are you done? No. Okay. I don't know what they're pulling down in there. Yeah. Well, I know they take the ceilings out. They take the wall, because this is a much thinner, yeah. Yeah. And so they put, I don't know if they put insulation. Yes, they are. Taking up the carpet. They're taking these bars of these all the electrical outlets here in the walls. They're taking that bar out, and they'll take this out. I think they're remodeling. Yes. They're doing 3 at a time. So they did Miss Mahaffey? Yeah. Miss Mahaffey's room that was right next to the library. Well, they keep moving teachers into it at the moment, but that was her room. They did that one. I think they did the math rooms and science. They did that wing first, and they did a lot of that over the summer. They were finishing those up when school started. And then they started on this half, and they started with that room next to the library, then Mr. Minix's room and Mrs. Matizak's room. And then they did Miss Winbigler's, Mr. Heiss, and Mr. Dozel, that's right here. And now they're doing Senor K, Senor Kabachek, he teaches the upper levels of Spanish, and Mr. Kruger and Mrs. Durth's room. And then this room and Ms. Alva and Mrs. Amor will be last. Now, I don't know about the room in the middle. They're using it next to Mr. Dozel's room. It's Miss Banks' room, but she's been downstairs the whole time because they've been using it to store, like, my tables and things will go in there while they're remodeling. And my desk, and I have to pack all that stuff up. Okay, do we have all this down? Okay. All right. Moving to the next. Okay. Let's do this. All right, I've got some. All right, so what's the definition of irony? It can be, it's usually when the opposite of what's expected happens. Okay, it is also saying the opposite of what you mean. All right. Okay. So let's look at some of the stories. It says, what two words would accurately describe the mood of the most dangerous game? What's the mood? Well, I would say this. It's dark and tense. Wouldn't you say? Would that be a good description of the mood? I mean, not that the actual atmosphere is dark because it's a tropical island of some kind, but the feeling, yes, danger, you could put that in there. Dark, tense, dangerous, hence the title. Okay. Yes, hunts people. Yeah, the main characters, the protagonist is Rainsford, himself a big game hunter. Beginning of the story, he's on a yacht with a friend. His friend says, yeah, there's an island somewhere over there. There are rumors about it. People never return. Okay. And Rainsford is very arrogant about hunting. Okay. Yes, and then he falls over, nobody's around, he's up during the night, and he falls off the boat. Yeah, I think you're right. He was reaching for something and fell over the side. And he ends up swimming to the island. And his tune changes when he becomes the prey. He's very impressed at first with the general, I believe. This is General, he's Russian. I don't remember his last name. But Rainsford is the protagonist. The Russian general is the antagonist of the story, okay? And he hunts people. What is an example of an external conflict in the most dangerous game? Yes, so it's man versus man. Rainsford is being hunted by the general. So his life is at stake. All right. So, question 3, what does Montresor desire most in the cask of Amontillado? No. Revenge, yes. He wants revenge. Yes. He wants revenge. Okay, question 4. I don't believe we ever read Into Thin Air. Okay, so we're going to mark that one out. And I checked through at least the main part of your final that you will take Friday has no questions about Into Thin Air. I forgot to check the other part. I'll make sure if there is anything on the other part, I will take it out. Okay. So, anybody still need to write all this down? No? Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, we read that. Yes. I think I don't remember seeing anything, but we'll talk about that quickly. Okay. Why did the sniper?
I do remember that people were trying to fire guns.
Yes. Why did he need to kill the sniper on the other roof? Yes. He was firing on. He would have. Yes. It turns out it was his brother.
So his brother set him up pretty much.
Well, they didn't know they were fighting each other. He didn't know until afterwards, and his brother probably didn't know it was him either. He just knew he had to get rid of the. They were also on opposite sides of the war. This was the Irish War. Okay. The Irish Republican Army was on one side, and the rest of Ireland was on the other side. How did he trick the other sniper? Do you remember? I don't remember. Oh, I think he acted like he had been shot. Okay. Yeah, and it turns out they were two brothers. Well, that happened in our Civil War. We had this, yeah, especially if you were in a state that was on the border of being either north or south, you had mixed, then it was very common for one brother to go here and one brother to go there. Yeah.
That's like a whoopsies.
Well, it usually wasn't an intentional thing, but like this, they just knew they had the enemy on the other side that they had to get rid of. On both sides, they knew. And then to realize there was your own brother that you killed, that would be
Devastating.
Yeah. What?
I don't have any.
Okay. Well, your sibling.
Yeah.
I mean, I made that choice easy. I pulled the trigger. I hate my sister.
It would have been odd, dude.
I know, yeah.
But,
Yeah.
But if it was like this, I was one hundred, I would pull trigger. We could have been in prison or something.
Yeah.
I am a judge, right?
Yeah. Okay. So, what was the setting of the house on Mango Street? Let's talk about this one.
Wasn't our one part of New York?
Not New York.
Yeah, some city.
Latino district of Chicago. Low income Latino district. Or Chicago, as my brother said when he was little. Looked at the map, he said, "There's Chicago." Sorry, instead of Chicago. Chicago, yeah. I laughed. I do have a brother. I have one brother. And I had 3 sisters. You what? You have 5 brothers? Do you have any sisters? 2. Okay. Are they all full? So are you all full siblings? No. Some half. Yeah.
I would have 4 sisters, but it's like,
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you know them or were they
no, they're little.
okay. Were they older than Molly?
Well, no, they were. I would then still go.
Okay. Were they miscarriages? Okay. Yeah. Yep. What is a simile from the house on Mango Street that describes Earl's dogs? Anybody remember?
What they say, like, somersault?
Yes. Yes. They were like semicolons, okay? And the simile is because we use the word like. Good. All right, very good. All right. What is Rosa Vargas tired of? And what literary device is this? Rosa Vargas had lots of children and her husband left. It was alliteration. It was bottles and babies and, well, they all rhyme. They all started with a B. Babies, bottles. Or was it D's? Diapering and, no, I think it was B's. Anyway, whichever one it was describing all the things she had to do with children. She had so many children, and it was alliteration.
It says buttoning, bottling.
Buttoning, bottling, and babying. Okay. Let me use this eraser. Oh, come on. Oh. It doesn't work very well. I knew babies and bottling was buttoning, bottling, and baby. Oops. And it is alliteration. Okay. All right. In Boys and Girls, what metaphor does Esperanza use to describe herself? I don't remember this one. Somebody type in what metaphor does Esperanza use to describe herself in Boys and Girls? Somebody type that into Google. Anybody?
Question.
What metaphor does Esperanza use to describe herself in the chapter Boys and Girls?
Until that time, a red balloon.
Oh, that's right. A red balloon. A red balloon tied to an anchor? Okay. And remember, this is a metaphor. Okay? She's a red balloon tied to an anchor. It is a metaphor. Okay. What is ironic about Marin's plans to marry a rich man from Chicago? Yes, she's poor, but she also, there's more to it than that. Marin is the one. No, that's,
Should,
she has a fiance in Puerto Rico.
Didn't he die? No, he died.
No, those are some different characters.
I remember a child that it was belonged to
Yes, Rosa Vegas wanted for, because Rosa Vargas, remember, had the children that she had so many of them, she didn't even try to discipline them. And they did everything. Yes. Whenever I say Puerto Rico, I want to sing the song from West Side Story. You know that song? Puerto Rico, my heart's devotion. And then there's the question, how does Esperanza feel about Aunt Lupe's death? It's not.
I don't think it really bothered her.
She felt, I believe she felt guilty. Well,
Because of that, maybe.
Like, she's kind of like ashamed, like, how she feels.
or that she didn't feel sad. I can't remember. Somebody look that up. How does Esperanza feel? She wasn't happy, but she didn't really feel the sadness.
Who's death?
Aunt Lupe's. Look up that one.
Esperanza feel after Aunt Lupe.
How does Esperanza feel about Aunt Lupe's death?
Don't you just sharing, like, how, like, her and a couple of, like, cousins and stuff, like, treated her?
She was kind of like shocked.
Is that what it says?
shame.
Ashamed? Why? Does it tell you?
Esperanza was ashamed when her aunt died because she was just making jokes about
Oh, that's right. Yep. She's ashamed because she was making jokes.
it.
Oh, Aunt Lupe is the one that can't. She's had some. She's had some disease for that she couldn't
She's
really.
been bedridden and sick for the
Yes.
all this from his life.
Yes, and apparently she was a very intelligent woman and very active. Okay, that's right. Thank you. Thank you, Anna. Okay, she's ashamed because she was just making fun of her. Yes. Okay. I'll write that in. And guys, I do know these questions are on the test, okay? Because like I said, I just went through it, the main test. I checked through it yesterday, so. How are we doing on time? Ooh, okay. Anybody still need this? Okay. Let me see, is there any more to this? Yes. In Born Bad, how does Esperanza personify diseases? Okay.
It's random.
Yes, but personify. That's the key. And you saying it has no eyes gives it human characteristics. Yes. Okay. So saying that it points a finger, that it has no eyes, these are all examples of personification. That's the key when you have the word personify, okay? And then 8, according to Elenita, where is Esperanza's home? Mango Street. Yeah, she says.
Didn't she say her home would always be at always be
Yes.
on the street?
Yes.
She can never like run or hide from it.
Nope. Yep, you are correct. What does Esperanza not admire about the 4 skinny trees in her front yard?
They remind her herself.
Well, that they've got the skinny elbows, and there was something else like that. Bony skinny elbows? Bony elbows? Something like that. Okay. And what do bricks and concrete symbolize in the 4 skinny trees? Barriers, yes. Barriers. The concrete and the bricks are barriers. And then 11, how is Esperanza like or not like her great-grandmother? Right, and they have a wild side. Yeah. Don't want to stick to the traditional roles. Oops. Okay. So they both have a wild side, don't want to stick with traditional roles. Remember, her great-grandmother's the one who was kidnapped and married. Okay. All right. Do we have this? No, somebody's still typing. Okay. Anything else? Okay, listen, we'll finish these tomorrow. Okay, we're at number 12. We'll finish these up tomorrow. We've got a few more things. Okay, so because we also have to go through the Greek stuff. All right, so we stopped at 12 in House on Mango Street. Okay. So I need you guys to pack up so I can